And it's time for more Formula 1 stuff. Or yeah, and collecting fishes in Minecraft. Let's see. Yeah, the first thing we will do is before we go into Minecraft, there's news about the new Formula 1 car. Yeah, FIA on wheels Formula 1 regulation for 2026 and beyond, featuring fuck this word. More agile cars and active aerodynamics. What I've seen in the video that was really boring. The car will be smaller. And maybe after this, Aidan Millward will give any news on where he will go. If it will be Williams or... I mean, it will be so amazing if he go to Williams. But okay, so I don't know what more than a small car. Oh shit! It's 17 hours. The first practice will start. Oh shit! So long time. Okay, but we have other people that can maybe give more information about the... What do you expect? I expect we will get more than 30 fishes for the collection. Let's see if I'm right. But yeah, instead of reading everything... Oh shit, 1351 did we end up yesterday. 1051. Then we do that, 2700. So we... No eggs, nice. So we are more than the halfway to 2700. And oh my god, yesterday 25 fishes minus, or what you can call, was copied, a copy from a fish I already have. Yeah, 25 fishes. Like, why so many copies? Oh yeah, so we have the first video. Yeah, Autosport, the future of Formula 1. First look at the 2026 F1 regulation. Then yeah, P1 have done a video. The race have also done a video. And then we have 2 videos about preview about the Canadian race from yeah, one from P1 also. Some Formula 1 World, or what's it called? I don't know. But let's see what they have to say about this new car. And what more information was given. And hopefully we get some more fishes.
Well, the time has come with the FIA have finally revealed...
Like I said, it should be more than... Oh! Here we have... God damn it. Oh shit, he was not loud. Not The fuck? Low, I mean. Oh! 100% pink? No, pink, purple, I mean. Nice. Oh shit, I need to... This one need to get removed. Need back with the value 11. Volume. Holy fuck. Yeah, what the fuck. No, that was just collecting fishes.
The regulate.
Oh yeah, I said 30 fishes. 30 fishes. How many? 3. That's 10. Plus 12. So 15. 15, 17. 23. 26, 29. Fuck. Oh, that's why. Fuck did this vision come from? Oh no, it is the... Oh. The leftovers of the copied fishes. Oh no. Was there even more? Oh, fuck me. Oh, well, then we have something we can do. Fuck me. The bad start.
For Formula 1.
So it could be more than 25 fish that was copied. It was like 9 in this one. Yeah, 9. So 34 fish it could it be. Oh my god, so many. This one I need to remove. Oh my god, okay, back to
2026 regulations that they hope are going to produce some more exciting and competitive racing for us, the fans, and for the drivers. And these regulations are set to be ratified.
Maybe Monaco will be fun now with these smaller cars.
Ratified by the World Motorsports Council on June the 28th. But what should we be expecting to see? Let's have a quick look at some of the top lines. To start with, the cars are set to be more nimble. The concept at the heart of the 2026 regulations target improved raceability and therefore closer racing. They're going to be lighter as well, 30 kilograms lighter than the current generation F1 cars, improving efficiency and handling. Redesigned power unit builds on the world's most efficient engines with almost 300% more battery power and an even split between internal combustion and the electric power. Active aerodynamics to suit the energy management requirements for the new power units. Increased overtaking opportunities through new manual override mode, granting more electrical power deployments for the following car. A record number of 6 power unit manufacturers with Ferrari, Mercedes, Renault, Honda, Audi and Red Bull Ford powertrain.
So weird to see Audi here now. But I will be in Formula 1, so...
committed to Formula 1 from 2026 and improved safety through stronger structures and even tougher tests. Well, let's get straight into a bit more of the detail then, shall we? And we've got John Noble over there in Montreal to tell us a little bit more. First of all, John, great to have you along, but are there any surprises?
I don't think there are any surprises. Well, maybe the surprise is that the cars don't look radically different. You know, we've heard all these kind of horror stories and scare stories for 2 years about Frankenstein cars, these cars spinning on the straights and weird active aero, and drivers need to change down gear on the straights to recover energy and all this sort of thing. So I think we've been expecting this kind of huge revolution of something super weird to be happening. But actually, when they come out, they look very similar to the current cars, but it's in the details, in the, in the sizes and some of the aerodynamic elements. I think they look different, and I think will make a significant difference to kind of what we get to see on track in terms of the racing.
Well, let's drill.
Okay, skip it.
Pull
So
down
bad
into
out.
the detail, and shall we? It does say that the cars are going to be nimbler, and I love that technical term, nimbler. What have they done to achieve this?
Made them smaller, actually. In effect, they're going to be 30 kilos lighter. So this is being achieved through basically the car's going to be shorter. So the wheelbase drops from 3.6 metres to 3.4. The width is dropping from 2 metres to 1.9 metres. And the floor width is going to be reduced by 150 millimetres. And on top of that, we're going to get narrower tyres as well. So the fronts are being reduced by 25 millimetres and the rears by 30 millimetres, even though the diameter will stay at 18 inches. So all combined, it's 30 kilos. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not the kind of the revolution that perhaps some would have liked, but it's at least a step in the right direction, and we're not keep inching upwards as we have done for the past few years.
They're not significantly different to what the cars currently are, as you're just saying. I'm just thinking of circuits like Monaco.
I hope they will change how the wing in the back look like. And it looks so stupid. Here we have cyan. And there's orange. Purple. Man, I need to do this again. So boring. Purple. Cob. Oh shit, no, I was even on the right side of... I was on the other right side, not the right side. Purple lime. Red. Light gray. Cyan yellow. Fuck me, this is so boring. But I need to do this again because I forgot to fucking place them down. Or I really don't have to because I know I did it, but to make sure. We need to be 100% sure before we throw away this kind of fishes. Cyan yellow, then we have brown. Snooper. Light gray. What the fuck? This is flopper, we need the snooper. God damn it, can't I... Man, There we have fucking... The fuck, was it brown? It was fucking spotty also. Oh my god, this is so fucking annoying. I can't do anything. Light grey. Like, swing them around like for 2 hours and then do this works for me so much better than do this first. This is so weird. Then we have more brown, light blue. Light blue. Lime cyan. Yes, and then we have Sign red. Yep, fuck me. Plus minus 9. Okay, now we can go back to the video.
These cars are still pretty big beasts going around street circuits.
Yeah, I think they are still big beasts, but also think that, you know, the days of going back to how they were 15, 20 years ago have long gone. We've got this, and I think there's two factors at play here. One is the current turbo hybrid engines. We've got, you know, big batteries in Formula One now, and there'll be more battery reliance from 26. Batteries are currently really heavy. I mean, we see it in road cars, we see it in Formula One. You can't escape the fact that there's kind of a certain weight that's coming from the batteries, which cannot be changed. And also safety's changed dramatically now. The cars are, you know, much bigger crash structures. We've got the halo. We've got stronger roll hits going for 26. More, you know, tougher crash tests. So everything's kind of beefed up. So I think it's just a natural progression in the direction Formula One's taken. And a lot of this weight you simply just cannot take off, because there's, you know, you cannot say to anyone in F1, oh, let's just remove some safety elements to make the cars lighter. Safe.
Yes. Why not? Just remove them. No need for safety.
Safety always comes top.
Yeah, one of the things that weighs a lot, the batteries. Now, we've known for a while about what's likely to happen with the power unit. What can you tell us? It's all been confirmed, it seems. Yeah, so, I mean, I think they've published the engine regs for quite a while now, and they're just honing details. But in effect, we're sticking with turbo hybrids. So, you know, partly internal combustion engine, partly battery. The difference is from 26, it's going to be a 50-50 split. Not all times, but, you know, peak performance, 50% of the power is going to come from the battery, and 50% from the ICE. So, I mean, in effect, the ICE current engines are going to be wound down a bit, more restricted fuel flow to bring their power down. And battery technologies, or battery input, has been ramped up massively. So it's going to be a new way of cars kind of delivering performance out on track. People have raised concerns, haven't they, over the last few months, really, that this could lead to cars lifting and coasting on the straights. Could you explain this to us a little bit? Because it seems a bit of a strange idea that Formula One will slow down with the direction they've gone in. Yeah, so when the rules came out...
Lifting and coasting, really? What the fuck does that mean?
I think they, you know, just to give the manufacturers time to create engines. Obviously, the teams went away, ran some simulations of how it could map out. And what they found, you know, you do a simulation at somewhere kind of power thirsty like Monza. So the quickest way to get a Formula One car down a straight is you use all your battery power at the start of the straight, you burn it all for acceleration, because that's the speed you gain at the start of the straight, you carry it all the way down. So in effect, you would burn all your battery power at the start, and then be backing off, and then whether you're changing down gear to try and get more battery power, or you're lifting and coasting, you'd basically be off the power and into the first corner, and it would look terrible. But the FIA, this is all part of the learning process, and what the FIA have done is they've implemented this mixture of kind of technical regulations, sporting regulations, that kind of limit the amount of power deployment you can have. So it'll stop this ability of burning all your power at the start of the straight, lifting and coasting. It'll now be more staggered, more gradual, and it should in effect be more akin to current Formula One. And actually, from what I understand, the new cars are going to be more powerful than the current generation of cars, and they're going to accelerate much quicker because there's a lot more kind of instant power available. There was a rumour, wasn't there, that we'd like to hear these cars revving full out while they're going around the slow chicanes and hairpins of circuits around the world. Is that likely to be something we'll see, do you think? I think we will. I think there's no avoiding the fact that, you know, teams' priority is always performance. They don't particularly care how a car looks out on track or how it races or what the spectacle is. All that matters to them is performance. And
that you can see by how some liveries are made. But you can also make a car that looks so nice.
If you're in a corner and you're what I think technical term is grip limited, as in, you know, your speed is limited by the grip you have available, you want to be doing everything you can to that engine to try to ramp up the power So if you want it on full revs, just to try to get some energy into the battery, that's what you're going to do. I think it's it may not be a good look, and it may be something we get used to, or maybe something that causes outrage when it happens. But I think it's a small compromise if the overall package of Formula One works better.
It's going to cause outrage to some people. People like of course, it's going to outrage some people. It's always, no matter what happens, it's going to be outrage somewhere along the line. Now, one area that I think is really interesting is active aerodynamics. It's a really interesting thing. What's the reasoning behind this? Because it was banned back in 1969.
We've had active more recently. There was a time when this idea of having the front wing kind of moving up in corners and being adjusted came in the early 2000s, but didn't particularly work. It's come back primarily because there is a concern that the new engines, because of the way they deliver power...
Oh my god, just look at the wing. Someone looks stupid in the front, but man, please make
and less downforce, that the grip levels wouldn't work if you had a current...
I hope it's right, because that the weird... How the wing looks now is so... No, please. Remove it.
Car with high drag levels actually be quite slow on the straights, so they needed to find a way to ensure the performance is good in the corners and the drag was reduced.
Okay, now. Man, I so don't like how they made this wing. Please change this back to how it was.
On the straights. So the best way to do this
straight and boxy. No alcohol.
Active aero. There's been various tests done, and there were some kind of alarming stories out of some simulators recently of drivers complaining that the cars were spinning when they got on the accelerator, or they couldn't take minor kinks flat out. But I think this is, from what the FIA have said, that this is part of tests to work out what doesn't work, and they've realised it doesn't work if just the rear wing's adjusting. They need both to be adjusted. So what we're getting is kind of a two-stage active. There's going to be, I think it's called, there's a Z stage and an X stage, and the X stage will be the low drag version that will be used when the driver wants it on the straights, can reduce drag. It won't be like DRS though, so it's not, you're not going to get a high drag, a low drag and a DRS. It's just going to be high drag and low drag for the straights, and overtaking will be achieved through this kind of a power override system.
There's been quite a few articles written on Autosport.com, so I urge our viewers and listeners to go and look at those. Now, one has got one area has got a really fancy name, and I want to make sure I get it right because it's a very fancy name, and that is manual override mode. MOM. You'll call it manual override mode. Push to pass.
What? Okay, so they will bring moms into.
That's right. Push to pass, as the rest of the world calls it. He's instigating mom. How will this work? And is it something that you welcome? Do you welcome mom?
So I think as they've dug into the rules and realised that F1 you still need something extra to help overtaking, but if you have no DRS at all or no extra way of passing, it is still really, really difficult. So they, rather than going the DRS route, they've looked at this manual override system, which will basically be, if you get within a certain distance of the car in front under acceleration, there'll be a certain point where you can activate the system, and it will give you a power boost to in effect drag past the car in front. So from the outside it will be push to pass, but the FIA don't like calling it push to pass, so that's why it's got its funny name.
Yeah, it's a funny name. It's going to be very enjoyable reading your articles in the future. Now, the FIA have also said they're going to be looking at improving safety through stronger cars, as you say, and tougher tests, which is always a good thing. Safety is always a really good thing, as we know. Do you have any more detail on that?
Yeah, I think it's just ramping up areas. There's always incidents and accidents happen that kind of highlight weaknesses in the current system. Obviously, Guan Yu Zhou's crash at Silverstone, I think it was 2 years ago now.
Thanks to Russell, I think. And Alex Albon with his upgraded Williams just crashes.
Time passes quite quickly. We went upside down to the roll hoop, basically snapped. came off. So they've had to strengthen that. They strengthened that up for 26, and also the front of the car. I think there's some concern that the way the current frontal crash structures are, that if there's a double impact, so a driver hits a barrier, takes the nose off, and then strikes it again, there's not enough protection for the driver. So they've kind of changed the systems, trying to get a double a double knockoff system now, basically. Just
Oh shit! So the car will be even bigger now. Nice.
it's just the ever constant quest to make things safer.
So just quickly read these quotes out as well, because I think it's worth it. So President Mohammed bin Salem has said, the key features of the 2026 F1 regulations are advanced sustainability, technology and safety. Our aim together with Formula One was to produce a car that was right for the future of the sport's elite category. We believe we have achieved that goal, and F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali said, we enter this new regulatory cycle with the sport in the strongest position it's ever been, and I'm confident that the work done by the FAA to create these regulations will further strengthen the position of the sport around the world. So it seems they're both pretty confident.
Yeah, I think there is some optimism. I think we've had times of the scare stories which have kind of been bubbling away. And teams are always sceptical, and teams try and find faults and try and expose issues and get them out in the press and public. But I think there is a level of confidence that the steps they've made and changes they've made and lessons they've learned from what they got wrong with the 22 cars will be transferred into 26 to make it better, rather than it being an overall compromise forced upon Formula One by the fact it's changed power units.
Now, I know you've been speaking to the FIA single-seater technical director, Nicholas Tombassis. Now, this is a story that's going to be published soon. How confident is he that we're really going to see closer racing? We've had this before, haven't we, where even the regulations we're on right now are supposed to bring closer racing.
I mean, 2022, it was... You can close racing, at least the first half, and then Mercedes complained a lot, and then it wasn't close anymore.
Yeah, I think there's a degree of confidence, because I think there's an acceptance that they didn't get everything right with the 22 regulations. I think Tom Bassis in the press release that the FIA sent out today says these rules about righting some of the wrongs that happened with the 22 cars. So I think what happened with the current ground effect, they started off really well. We had some very close racing, the cars could follow.
Yes, like I said, then Mercedes complained, and then
teams kind of exploited certain areas, outwash returned, dirty air returned, got harder and harder for cars to follow each other, and it's steadily got worse. So I think the FIA's kind of analysed what the teams did, the areas that they pushed on to do this, and have basically closed those options down. So it's a simpler, narrower front wing. They've got rid of the front wheel arches. There's some in-wash elements in front of the side pods as well. And also the floors are changing. The kind of the ground effect or amount of downforce produced by the floor is going to be reduced. The beam wings going. The tunnels are going to be shallower. Everything's just aimed at kind of addressing the issues that were highlighted with 22. I mean, it's quite refreshing. They're not just...
So Mercedes will have a hard time to make... you can see the 2026 car good also.
Just ploughed on thinking,
Also,
we got this absolutely spot on, let's carry on and do more. I think they've worked out what didn't work and hopefully address it next time.
Well, that kind of brings me to my next question, really. You've been around for a while. I mean, I try not to be rude about the way I say it, but you've been around for a while, and you've been around when there've been these technical regulations have changed. You've been through quite a few of these phases. How excited are you about these new phases, genuinely? And do you think it's really going to bring the change that the FAA and Formula One and all the rest of them are saying they hope it's going to bring?
Yeah, well, I'm always sceptical of changes, and always get more sceptical. But maybe this is my old age. I always get more sceptical the greater people say things are going to be. So you always think, the more people try and ram down positivity into you, you think there must be something here that's not actually going to work. But I think there are details of these rules that are good, and I like the fact they've addressed the weaknesses of this current rule set. I think the worst thing would have been if they accept the current cars are fantastic and the racing's brilliant and everything's been hunky-dory and we didn't make any mistakes. But they did make mistakes. The current cars can't follow each other close enough. They're far too sensitive to ride height, which has had another impact on racing, because Some teams haven't been able to master these cars at all. Mercedes are in year 3 now, and they're still trying to battle to.
That's so amazing. Machine is still trying to make a good car.
Sort out how to make a super competitive current ground effect car. So all these little elements, and it's all details that count in
can it
Formula
be
1.
100%?
It doesn't especially
No.
matter what the car
Sign like
looks
it.
like. It doesn't matter what the front wing looks like, or the rear wing looks like, or the shape of the tunnels. It's about how it performs on track. And I think there's enough potential in its regulations for them to understand how the racing can work, as long as the power unit regulations prove fit for purpose. I think that's the big uncertainty we have at the moment. What's it going to be really like when they're out there? Are we going to be consigned to economy runs? Is there still going to be a lot of lifting and coasting? Is it still going to be all about battery management and all the elements that stop us having flat-out races? So I think there's some positives, but equally I think there's still some big question marks that we won't know until these cars are running for the first time in 26.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with your cynicism of enthusiasm in mind, I think your articles are absolutely fantastic, by the way. The greatest I've ever read. Final question for you, John. Are you ready?
You got my envelope of cash then?
Yeah, exactly. It's over there. So it's not very big, actually. It wasn't as big as I was hoping. My final question for you is, well, I can't really let you go with, are you really in Montreal, or is it a travel lodge in Swindon?
No, I am in Montreal, but I'm staying in, we're staying in university accommodation.
Wow.
Just because Montreal's so expensive these days. I think it's one of the downsides of F1's popularity is all the hotels bump up the prices. So I live like a student for the weekend.
It's a nice echoey room. Look, John, thank you very much indeed, as always. And don't forget, you can find out more by checking out autosport.com and seeing all the articles that are being written.
Okay, what the fuck did I mention? The car will be smaller. Some concern on how they will probably drive the car. Some active stuff. MOM mode. Improved safety, sure. And probably everything, all the changes for the 2026 stuff will probably what do you say? Mercedes will still not get it right. Let's see what P1 thinks about this new stuff. Our reaction to the new 2026 F1 regulation. Let's see.
Our reaction to the 2026 F1 regulations. The 2026 Formula 1 regulations.
I mean, Mercedes will still make no progress with this. So it will be so fun if Mercedes is still bad. 2026 new cars is out and they're still bad. Well, what do you do then? If you're Mercedes, Toto Wolff, Mercedes fans, like, what do you do if they still have not a good car?
Obviously, there's been a lot of chatter about it, but it's kind of like a confirmation of where we're at the moment with the cars, because there's been a lot of murmurs, a lot of things about simulators not corresponding to what it should be for these kind of cars, and they've not really said whether or not they actually are working too well in the simulator. But this is what we've got, Tommy, in front of us. We've got information, we've got pictures, and most of all, we've got vibes.
We have.
I hate the wing. Please go back to how it was.
And
also this, I mean, it's looked better than whatever the wing the cars now have, but still somewhat weird.
Another thing was there was talk of, you mentioned about drivers being outspoken. I think one of them was in particular Max Verstappen, saying that he did it on the simulator and he thought it was terrible and all this kind of stuff. There was talk that the regulations might be delayed for another year and things like that, and we were going, oh no, because we're in this year of Red Bull dominance, era of Red Bull dominance, but
and still the championship is on.
They've written 2026 all over the car and really hyped it up, so I assume we won't have a delay. Like it certainly seems that way.
Yes, very exciting. Or not, depending if we get a 9-driver championship fight next year, because that's usually what happens at
I'm
the end of
getting
Formula
so
1
much
regulations.
deja vu from 2022 when they announced it, and it was like, this is it, the new regs. Surely, like, everyone's gonna, we're gonna see Haas winning races, and this is gonna be the best thing ever. And here we are. You can't win every race, so we'll see.
Certainly can't. Right, let's look into the first thoughts then on the look of the car. Before
He
we
can't win every race, but he can win more than 15.
get into the nitty-gritty details of the changes, let's talk about what it looks like.
Like 20
Looks a
maybe.
little bit more Formula 2 than previously.
Really not. Have you seen the back wing on Formula 2? It's so retarded.
Going down the route of all kinds of things that we'll get into, active aero and a lot of things that I'm reasonably excited about. But from a looks perspective, it's not too drastically different that it's, you kind of gasp when you see the picture. But it is a strip back again. They're going to have less downforce, so they don't look as mean. But honestly, they could look like a shoebox for all I care. If we got great racing, I could not care less what they look like. But I'm not...
I can. No, really, do you want to have... what can you say? Oh, this is the perfect. What do you rather wanna see? A Ferrari car win or a Red Bull car win? I mean, if he doesn't care how something look like, then you wouldn't mind Max Verstappen winning every race.
Too disgusted or anything by the look of them. I'm sure we'll get used to them very quickly, and they aren't that
No, I still not used with the back wing.
drastically different in my opinion.
Looks too
No, they
stupid.
aren't. They look fine. Like, I'm not
No.
seeing it and going, oh my god, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm equally not going, oh my god, that's absolutely hideous. It's just kind of,
I
they
do.
look fine. The front wing is very different, and the rear wing actually. The kind of front and rear wing remind me of that kind of mid 2000s era. It feels like it's going back to that. But the rest of the car
It's trying, but it's still not there.
does look very similar to how it's been, but exactly as you said, and I
Man,
made
the
this example as well of
2000,
2012.
1999
Start of
and
that season.
1998.
These are the ugliest Formula 1 cars we've ever seen. The step noses are horrible, and you.
There's a lot resting on Bellingham's shoulders.
The car before was it?
You say 2012 to any F1 fan, and all they think of is the 7 different winners in the first 7 races and an absolute banger of a season where the championship went down to an amazing finale in Brazil. I could not care less how they look. Give me good racing, please.
Absolutely. So those are our first thoughts. Let's get into the first question from Meek Simmons. Are they actually smaller and more nimble than the current cars?
Yes.
Well, let me throw you with some facts, or at least what the FIA deem facts, before the F1 teams have a good old play with them. So they're 30 kilograms lighter than the current F1 machinery. The wheelbase is being reduced from 3,600 millimeters to 3,400 millimeters. The width of the cars are dropping by 100 millimeters from 2,000 to 1,900, and
Man, you showed this in the wrong order.
the maximum floor width will be reduced by 150 millimeters, which, I don't know if they're going for big numbers and just, because obviously millimeters, anytime you hear millimeters, you go, that is absolutely tiny. But they're like, hey, but it's a big number, so it might sound like they're getting a lot smaller. They're not. They are not getting, they're not 25% smaller or something that I'm sure myself and a lot of F1 fans have dreamed of. But lighter, more nimble. They have tried to make them a little bit smaller whilst also trying to pack everything in that they're trying to do to make them the most relevant from sustainability and engines and all that sort of stuff that we'll get onto. But they are, by fact, smaller.
Yeah, they are a bit smaller. Like you say, they didn't go with the... If they'd have led with the narrative of the Formula 1 cars will be 10 centimetres thinner, you'd be like, oh.
But 100 millimeters, that sounds
that
massive.
seems like a lot, doesn't it? But it's not really. Thank goodness they are lighter, because with all safety features that are getting added, of course, and the hybrid systems and all that, the car's getting heavier and heavier. That is the biggest problem with Formula One now. In my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions as well, that they are too big, and it's not just Monaco, it's other circuits. We're going to race at Montreal, which we were just talking about in our predictions, that we've not seen a great race there in so long, and cars are sort of getting too big for a lot of these classic circuits. So it's good that they've reduced it a bit. But then you can argue that we did have big wide cars back in the 90s and stuff. They could overtake a lot easier. It's more down to the aerodynamics and things like that. Although it is funny that they've reduced the front tyres and rear tyres, make them a little bit smaller as well. But they said that they hope that it doesn't significantly reduce the grip. And what I'll say to that is, reduce the grip, please.
Yeah,
I don't want
matter.
them to be Scalextric's cars. I want them to be fighting. It doesn't need to be as extreme as like IndyCar, which I absolutely love. Just to cover that off. But like,
no, you love IndyCar.
Even if it doesn't go that extreme that they're wrestling the cars, I need to see a bit of that, because as soon as we get those slippery conditions or whatever, you see the drivers fighting, you get more unpredictable results, you see more overtaking, more passing. Even though it sounds an insane thing to say, because a lot of casual Formula One fans, or people that don't watch Formula One, it's like, sure, the whole point of Formula One is it's really, really quick. But actually, I'd take them being slower and less impressive cars, because I want to see driver skill, and I think that's something the sport's kind of lost a bit in recent years.
But yes, I'm happy for a loss of grip. I'm happy for... They were kind of suggesting in a little bit of a way with the video that they put out that it might be a bit more... They're going to be difficult to drive in some ways, or whether that will actually be the case, who knows. But that's what we want to see. That's when it's the most exciting. I don't get it. It's just give us
something. You don't want them on rails, do you? Because it's
look
great
at this pole lap of
see.
Lewis Hamilton a few years ago, and he's just turning his steering wheel like this, and it goes where he wants it to go all the time, and then it's a lap.
And then ultimately, less...
I mean, you must be happy now. Lewis Hamilton doesn't have that luxury now. You need to fight this car every race. The past 3 years now.
Mistakes equal less retirements, unpredictable results, less action, because if everything is the peak
Oh shit, that's something. Everyone needs to drive a Mercedes car. Then you never know who will win.
Performance, and every Formula One driver can push, and it is like a Scalextric's car. Everyone is going to be braking at the exact limit, they're going to be accelerating at the exact amount and all this kind of stuff. You're not going to get passing and overtaking if there's no variation in the braking zone and people are braking at different times and there's a challenge there. So yeah, fingers crossed that we do see a bit more of that, and drivers having to fight.
Next question,
But I would say, I'm hoping. Mercedes still being bad, but McLaren, Ferrari and Red Bull, they can still be up there. And then maybe Aston Martin 4th best, and then Mercedes can be 5th.
_Ali. How
Fighting with the Visa Cash App RB Formula 1 team.
does the DRS work now? Well, this is very interesting. And this...
Yeah, they have some new weird systems.
This is very exciting, in my opinion. So the FIA say that the 2026 cars will be switchable between 2 configurations to either
So weird, why? Is that really needed?
minimize fuel consumption or to maximize cornering performance. So the all-new active aerodynamic system involves a movable, not just rear wing, but front wing as well. That's right. DRS on the front, kind of. This will also allow for greater cornering speeds with one wing angle deployed, lower drag and greater straight
So can you switch it whenever you want?
line speed will be possible when the second angle is deployed.
Oh shit, I think that's something they mentioned. That if someone is behind, it's alright. It might be.
So this new system can be used in zones like those used for the current DRS overtaking aid. So how I'm seeing that is that we're not just going to have conventional straight DRS detection zones. We're going to have maybe places where aero is really important, perhaps, and then there might be an active aero section or something. That's how I kind of at least decipher this, is that it's not just as standard as overtakes will only happen in a straight line nowadays, because both cars will have that active aero on the front and the rear, but it's then, well, not the active, like to reduce. We're just digesting this. My understanding was that was fine, but then it's more, and then it's throwing in the power, the added power that the car behind will have in that detection zone.
Yes, you make it so you make the cars more challenging, less downforce in that moment, and like you say, the DRS. My biggest complaint about DRS, we've said it many times, that it's absolutely necessary in modern Formula One, because it is good to see the cars stay closer, but the bad side of DRS has always been those slam dunk overtakes where people just fly past another car on the straight.
Yes, and then you have other times when it's DRS straight.
And it doesn't feel like a real overtake. You want to see people out-braking people into corners and things like that. And it does feel like, fingers crossed, from what they're kind of teasing, that this could be more of a thing, that you're actually getting people overtaking in corners in different parts of the circuits, because that's what you want to see.
Yeah, so it sounds like they're trying to take the pressure off the power unit, and that's why they're introducing this front and rear wing deployment for when they're on the straights. But then there is this additional choice of the two configurations, and also an additional boost of power for the driver behind when they're in particular DRS, we're going to call them, zones. That's my understanding. A lot of talking and a lot of chatter. We're just two F1 fans based on vibes, so hopefully that's accurate. But I'm sure as things get tied up in the coming year or so, there'll be more clarification on how they're going to use that, whether it's going to be a certain amount of times rather than just being able to unlimited deploy and all kinds of stuff. So exciting though. I like the fact that they're trying something new. We're not just got the DRS zones, which, to be honest with you, in these generation of cars really aren't working. We're seeing DRS trains like never before. So yeah,
it's getting
absolutely
worse, isn't it?
excited. And I'm surprised, Tommy, that you haven't sort of been jumping off your chair, to be honest, by the fact that they were sort of teasing an IndyCar sort of push to pass system, and you just sat there like, yeah, you know, I could take it or leave it. You've been praying for this, bruv. You've been manifesting
I was
ritual candles. I want more energy from you, Thomas.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, just if that is the case, and that,
I mean, for me, I never seen push to pass actually do anything. Mostly because maybe both drivers use push to pass and nothing happens. So I don't see the hype with push to pass.
That is how it's going to work. Just sign me up, because I've always wanted that. Because the other thing about DRS is kind of defenseless motorway passes, and it doesn't feel like there's a driver skill involved, whereas if it is more like this push to pass mechanism.
Well, it must be a driver skill. Why all this DRS trains done? I mean, must be some skill to use the DRS to get past someone.
The thing I love about IndyCar is that you can use it to defend.
I mean, this is the easiest question. Can Max Verstappen easily get past people with DRS than Sherry Paris? If yes, then is a skill issue to use the DRS.
This one, it seems like the power boost will be from the car behind, but it won't. It means that they'll have more power and hopefully make the move into the corners and things, which on paper sounds absolutely great. And of course they're not going to say it might not work. But from everything they're saying, it obviously sounds a lot better. The pessimist in me, and it's mainly because we've seen it so many times, is however much people working in Formula One are incredibly clever, they're also incredibly annoying because they love to ruin it for everyone by making their cars really, really quick and ruining all these regulations that are meant to help overtake. And they do not care when they're designing their cars what the fans think. They just want to make the quickest car and the car that's impossible
Well, they care about their own fans.
to overtake and will
they
win the
somewhat
race
care.
easily in the most boring way possible. So there's always that
Mercedes doesn't care about their fans. Now, first they make a bad car, so then Lewis Hamilton leaves. So every Lewis Hamilton fan will leave Mercedes also. And because those are bad, I don't know how much new fans will they get when they are just bad. And Kym Illman will give some new fans for Mercedes if he joins.
fight amongst regulations and the clever boffins that will go, well, actually, there's this loophole that can ruin the entire regulations, and we're absolutely going to go for it.
Next question from Pierre Plus. Will it be an engine formula again? So we've got some notes for you here. So while power from the hybrid unit has dropped from 550...
From Mercedes, it sounds like it will be that Mercedes will be so good in the power unit that everything else doesn't matter for some reason. But sure.
50-ish kilowatts, to 400 kilowatts. The battery element has risen significantly from 120 kilowatts to 350. So it's basically a 300% increase in electrical power, and so the amount of energy that can be recuperated during the braking phase is also doubled to 8.5 MJ, millijoule.
Millijoules, yeah. Megajoule. Sorry, it's
Megajoule.
Yeah.
So I baited you. I knew that the whole time. No, I didn't. So I got a B in science in my GCSEs. And the new regulations have led to commitments from existing suppliers from Ferrari, Mercedes and Renault, while enticing Honda to return and encouraging the arrival of Audi and Ford, the latter entering through a partnership with Red Bull powertrains. So in a nutshell, yes, it is
Ford wasn't in that
an engine formula. And
before.
that's why the big teams,
Autosport.
the Ferraris and the Mercedes and all this kind of, that's the ones that we're expecting to be very quick in 2026. Although Hamilton said, no, Mercedes, you are not going to be quick in 2026. I'm going to try my hand somewhere else. But yes, that's the feeling.
True.
That it's going to be more about that, and especially when we've got less downforce, less things maybe for the teams to manipulate that side of things. It's going to be how quick they are.
It will, which is...
Actually, I don't care if Mercedes will be good at on 2026, because Lewis Hamilton will not be in that car. So it will be so funny. I mean, they can actually be good 2025 also. And that will be something. Mercedes is now better than Ferrari after Lewis leaves the team.
An interesting topic that we had about when Adrian Newey was leaving. Obviously, there will be that aerodynamic side, but Mercedes, for example, we saw they had a huge head start in 2014 because they had this amazing power unit, and we saw that it very much was down to the power unit, because you saw that all the other teams that did well at the start of 2014 were all Mercedes-powered cars, and it really was a really extreme version of an engine formula. The pain of a new regulation change will always be that one team might get it right, and it is. We've seen this example in 2022, which was a be careful what you wish for, because we all wanted the Mercedes domination era to end, and then it flipped on its head completely, and then we got another extreme thing. Please, all teams, just get these engine regs right.
So in a nutshell, I am pleasantly excited, I'd say, for the 2026 regulations. I'm
Car being smaller, I'm happy with.
sure we'll all be wishing that we could...
The back wing. I still don't like how that one looked like.
keep the current regulations when we do get an amazing season next year. But
it's going to happen again, because it happens every year. They're about to do a big change.
Is that one more fish for the collection?
Because everyone
Maybe.
commits so hard into the next regulations. You have that 1 year where everyone's sort of, it's not no one's like putting all the effort into it. And that's exactly what happened with 2021.
Surely should.
And we were all going, no, keep it now. So it'd be fascinating to see if that if that changes when we have.
I mean, McLaren and Ferrari should continue. Win even more races next season.
2025, and it is Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso all battling for the title together.
You thought you could throw in Fernando Alonso like we
I had
notice.
to. Sorry, I had
That
to.
is wild.
And Logan Sargent.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this emergency
No,
podcast.
Sargent
Let us know
will
your
be
thoughts on what you
Formula
think
One.
on these 2026 cars, and we'll see you very soon for the Canadian Grand Prix this weekend. Lots of love. Bye.
Racing, yay.
Oh shit, man. Okay, sure. Yep, that happened.
Nu är det
Yeah, let's see what the race have to say about the new stuff.
We have our first proper look at one of F1's biggest ever overhauls, with images and key information about the championship's new era looming in 2026. The first official images of the next generation of cars have been revealed by the FIA, along with a load of new info on what they will and won't feature, which all adds up to what FIA single-seater director Nicholas Tombassis calls a moderate revolution. But it's not just the cars that will be new. They will be paired with enhanced hybrid engines that create a near 50-50 split between power from the internal combustion engine and the MGUK, when at the moment that split is more like 80-20. As a car and engine combination, it is a massive change, especially as many engine rule consequences have driven big changes on the chassis side. As it's the 2026 car design and details that have been revealed now, with the engine regulations being published a couple of years ago already, it's the cars that we're primarily interested in for this video. The new rules create slightly shorter and narrower cars with revised aerodynamic profiling all over, including a bizarre looking front wing, with a big aim to slash drag levels and improve racing. The reduced dimensions are part of an effort to start to reduce the bloated cars, which have ballooned in mass over the past few rule changes, most notably in the V6 turbo hybrid engine era that began in 2014. And that finally starts now with a 30 kilogram reduction in the minimum weight, despite even heavier engines. Now the MGUK and battery are being massively increased. There's a big emphasis from the rule makers on the 2026 cars being lighter, nimbler and more agile. All very nice words to hear, as long as it's reflected in reality. Back to the visuals, there is quite a difference to the current generation, with obvious cues in the front and rear wings and plenty of changes elsewhere. And it adds up to a distinctive look to the 2026 cars compared to now. The aesthetics alone don't scream revolution, but it's the extent of the whole car overhaul that demands so much attention, including the scrapping of the long-standing drag reduction system, which we'll explain later in this video.
One more.
We have to wait a little longer to get stuck into the full technical regulations, as they won't be published until later in June, but the FIA has shared a lot of valuable...
So the new will not give any news where he will go, probably. So after June maybe we will know if any new will go to Williams.
Information about the new aero rules. As expected, they include active aerodynamics on the front and rear wing to have a low drag mode in lieu of the conventional DRS, but there are changes from front to back to build on lessons from the 2022 rules era. The FIA devoted a lot of research and development to trying to improve the wake characteristics of the current cars, so the chasing car retained more downforce to make it easier to follow. But the rulemakers realised quickly that the team's car development had slashed those gains, and the FIA opted to wait to address that. FIA Head of Aerodynamics Jason Somerville even claims that re-establishing following car performance has been the main goal of the 2026 aero rules. As before, there's a big emphasis on closing as many loopholes as possible, and only time will tell if that's been a more successful endeavour than in 2022. but let's get into the specifics. These cars will be up to 30 kilos lighter than the current generation, with the weight limit down to 768 kilos, which has been achieved mainly by shrinking the overall car size and various aero components. The wheelbase drops from 3.6 metres to 3.4, car width drops from 2 metres to 1.9, and the floor has a 15 centimetre reduction in width too. 18-inch wheels are retained, but they are 2.5 centimetres narrower on the front and 3 centimetres narrower on the rears, with supposedly a minimal loss in grip. Where it gets really interesting though is the FIA's estimation for car performance and the aero characteristics.
I mean, this wing, like, please make them more boxy, what do you call them, more straight than fucking this curve. And I think the front wing, I would say, look more nice than the 2024. But no, I don't remove the back wings.
Downforce is said to be reduced by 30% and drag by 55%. The desire for such low drag is partly because that's more sustainable, it requires less energy and fuel to be used, but also because the 2026 engine characteristics are such that the current drag levels would result in a severe drop-off in speed on the straights. The reductions have been achieved by a multitude of changes. The visibly different front wing is 10 centimetres narrower and features a 2-element active flap. We'll get into the active aero elements properly in a moment. The new front wing with a distinctive end plate arrangement goes a lot further than the current cars in trying to eliminate outwash, where airflow is forced around parts like the front wheels to reduce drag and avoid a disruptive airflow being channeled through the rest of the car. The FIA sees this as crucial to improve the wake characteristics and make it easier to follow, as in simple terms, teams love creating outwash for performance reasons, but it's a killer for racing as it creates dirty air for the car behind. There will be no front wheel arches anymore, but part of the wheel bodywork will be mandated to help achieve optimal wake performance, and in-washing control boards will sit on the front of the side pods to assist with the control of the wheel wake too. That's all about making it easier to follow. But in the ground effect era, it's the floor and diffuser that's key to performance, and the downforce generated here is being reduced. The cars will feature a partially flat floor, although we don't know where this will be mandated yet, and the diffuser performance is being reduced too. This will not only limit the power of the ground effect, but the FIA also thinks it will reduce the reliance on ultra stiff and low setups, which have been a feature of the current era. It should make the compromise between aero and mechanical performance easier than it is now. At the back, a wide letterbox-shaped rear wing with 3 elements and simplified, more conventional end plates will be adopted, instead of the curved all-in-one wing on the current cars, while the lower beam wing has been removed. Taking the lower beam wing away in combination with the smaller floor area is a big downforce hit. This will presumably put greater emphasis on mechanical grip, which at least partly relies on tyre supplier Pirelli. A massive feature of the 2026 rules is that the DRS as we know it is being dropped, which purists might want to celebrate, but new overtaking aids are being created in its place. The DRS has been a controversial staple of F1 since its introduction in 2011. Too often it's been overpowered, creating easy drive-by passes as the chasing car gets a big straight line speed boost and the defending car is left powerless. But it has survived various rule changes because ultimately it was felt necessary to have something to assist with overtaking, almost by way of insurance. The plaster's finally been pulled off though. In its place come 2 new innovations, a manual override system, which is an engine push-to-pass type aid in a very specific high
the mom system, right?
range, and active aerodynamics. Active aero is key to this, but it also merits its own full explanation, which we are getting to. In the context of no DRS though, for now you just need to understand that the new cars will be so low drag that there isn't really any benefit from the DRS as it exists now. What the new car and engine regs are trying to achieve in combination is an emphasis on energy management and deployment that offsets the low drag nature of the 2026 cars to make sure that overtaking is still possible but not too easy. Presently, a driver gets to use the DRS when they are within 1 second of a lead car at specific points on the circuit. From 2026, drivers will be able to switch between modes that reduce the downforce and drag levels on the front and rear wing when on the straights. Any driver, whether leading or following, will be able to do this at any time. So a low drag rear wing will be used by default on every straight by every car because less drag means using less energy, but also a higher top speed means recovering more energy when braking. we can literally hear you asking the obvious question. How can there be any overtaking if all cars are in low drag mode going super fast down the straights? Well, this is where the manual override function comes in. For 2026, once a car hits 340 km/h, the MG UK deployment will taper off. But the override option will give drivers access to more electrical power for longer, if, as with the current DRS, they are within an as yet unspecified distance of the car in front. When the override is active, the MG UK will keep deploying the maximum 350 kilowatts of power past 340 km/h up to 355. What we still don't know is how long the override function will last or how many times a driver can use it per
So even easily for Max Verstappen to pass people.
lap or per
Eller
race.
overtake them.
Streama serier, film och sport
No!
på TV4 Play.
We skip it. Oh my god. Slow skip.
Nobody seems to do cringy names or acronyms for things quite like F1, and so it is with how the FIA is distinguishing between the two drag modes available with
The
the new
mom
for
system.
2026 Active Aero. Enter X mode and Z mode, which just makes us think of Twitter, although Liberty Media is not quite at the point of demanding radical plans to alter car settings via social media. We explained above how everyone's going to have access to the low drag mode whenever they want, as long as it's in a predefined
Let's
point
see. Oh, they should have a sad mode.
of the circuit. So let's explain it properly. Z mode is the standard setting. This will be the higher downforce configuration.
Oh shit, they are. Wait. No! This... No! Will the race in Russia come back? After this? Oh! 100% grey fish. Oh my god, this is amazing. Are you pro C?
Quite at the point of demanding radical plans to alter car settings via social media. We explained above how everyone's going to have access to the low drag mode whenever they
Russia
want,
mode.
as long as it's in a predefined point of the circuit. So let's explain it properly. Z mode is the standard setting. This will be the higher downforce configuration each
Oh
team
my
picks
God,
to
so
go as quickly as
amazing.
possible through the corners, and will be the aero setup the car has for the majority of the lap. X, formerly Twitter mode, and yes, that's the last time we'll make that joke, is
You make that joke, but you don't make the Russia mode.
the low downforce configuration. It'll put the front and rear wings into a low drag setting for use on the straights. The FIA says that compared to the DRS now, the 2026 rear wing will have more moving elements, moving to a greater degree. And to be clear, the reason the front wing will change as well is just to manage the aero balance, so there isn't a lot of front downforce at a time when there's basically no rear downforce. If that was the case, then any car trying to move out of the slipstream of another would risk spinning out of control. The low drag X mode will be activated on defined zones around the track regardless of how close the driver is to the car in front. Then, as they approach the braking zone, they'll switch back to the high downforce mode. That can either be driver controlled or via brake pressure, so just like the DRS now, touching the brake would automatically switch back to the high downforce setting.
The Russia
We
mode.
hinted before that the way the aero and electrical power work together in this way is interesting. Although both the lead driver and the following driver can choose between X and Z levels of drag and downforce, it has an impact on the battery level and how much power can be used. So just like today, the following driver should be able to force the defending driver to use up more energy, and at some point they'll be down on available power to the chasing driver. Judging that correctly and then using the manual override function when it becomes available is going to be key, and clearly energy management and strategy will become an even more critical part of racing.
Maybe. We will see.
There's a lot being celebrated by F1 and the FIA in these new rules, including some genuinely impressive safety and sustainability advances. These include roll hoop load tests 45% greater than they were a few years ago, a legacy of Zhou Guanyu's Silverstone crash in 2022, and a 10% improvement in how much energy the cars can handle in a crash without adding any extra mass. The FIA summarises this as creating a smaller, lighter car with no compromises to safety. Once again, there's clearly a desire to shout about the supposed nimbleness the 2026 rules will create. And it's good we're getting weight off and the...
See, Yeah, hello, Calibro 12. Have you seen the new stuff? How the new car will look like? Something I realized with the new stuff. Let's see, we are 11:08. They apparently do the Russia mode in Formula 1. The Z mode.
Nimbleness the 2026 rules will create.
Oh shit, 11, yes, right.
And it's good we're getting weight off and the size down.
And also, we have 1,351 fishes. Maybe minus 9.
But in real terms,
Oh, shit.
factoring in the current cars being almost a couple of hundred.
Not into Formula 1, why not? Are you more IndyCar? Is that something better?
100 kilos heavier than ones of 2 decades ago. 30 kilos isn't that much to get
That I
excited.
would say, if you don't like Formula 1, you will not like Formula 2 or Formula 3. Man, seeing... but at least you can say the Monaco race in Formula 2, Formula 3 was so much better than the F1 race.
Excited about. The bottom line is that
Let's see, 585, 640, 702, and then 798. Huh. Man, the good years. Wonder if they ever would come back to the small cars. Let's see, Formula E. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I think I've seen nothing from Formula E. The only thing I've somewhat heard about Formula E is how you don't want to lead the race because it will drain your battery too much. So you want to be like third or fourth in the race, and then on the last laps you try to get past the leader and win. But if you're not much about Formula 1, how much about collecting fishes are you in Minecraft? I don't know how true this is, but that is the information in Wikipedia. That is 2,700 different tropical fishes, and like you see here, you have different names and different colors. So it's like trying to collect every different color. Let's see, let's go back to the video.
hybrid F1 cars will be big and heavy, and there's no getting away from that. And that seems to be
It's so boring. The cars is so big and heavy, and I don't know how fun Monaco races was before, but man, they must be more fun than they are now.
where the FIA thinks
one
F1
more
has
fish.
to be positioned for now. Technical
maybe
director
they
Jan
could have
Moncho says that our industry has decided to make quite a severe change of direction to try to
What's it? There's so many buckets you need. I mean, like I said, you need 2,700. I need to collect so many fishes, so I need so many buckets. Yeah, so a lot of iron is needed. I mean, we can do some quick math. okay. Not that quick math. Let's say 500, 1,500. And then we have 400, so 900. Oh my god, it's 3 times 9. So oh no, it's the other way around. 6,000. 7,400. Uh, 7,000. Oh my god, 6,000. Then you have plus that. 7,400. So 8,100. Iron. That's fun.
The line itself a little.
Okay. One more. Dirt. Yeah, hi. How are you doing, Dirt? Let's see, I think. So we don't miss any fish to collect. Well, yeah, we have. Yeah, we have a dirt block. That are really annoying that I have missed placing a bedrock there. Okay, back to collecting all these fun fishes. And yeah, back to the video.
Little bit more with the world we're living in 2024. But does it have to be this? Might there be a hint in the 2026 rules of what F1's longer term future could be? Recently, F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali told Italian media that he was
the dirt what are you most interesting? Formula 1 or Minecraft?
pondering whether hybrid engines are really needed in the long term, with new fuels set to be introduced as part of the 2026 rules. The idea is that switching to 100% sustainable fuels will become F1's environmental calling card. The FIA wants the fuels to be drop-in so that they can be used in almost any vehicle with...
I mean, this is the most ironic sport ever. They make cars so you can care about the environment. And then I use a lot of airplanes to fly around the world to all the races in Formula 1, and I just want to add more and more races. It's like, yeah, you care about the environment on track, but off track you fuck that.
An internal combustion engine, because it claims by 2030 there will still be 1.2 billion such cars on the road worldwide. The FIA says that fuel developed for F1 could therefore be used to reduce emissions on an industrial scale. While extremely optimistic...
Maybe they should work more on... I mean, that's also... See, can we have a map? Map on F1 races. See if we can... 2024. Yeah. This could maybe work. See. This I think is ever 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 8, 12. 16, 20, 24. Is it 24? See. Round. Yeah, so 20, 24. Okay, 24. It's like you care about the environment, Maybe you should make so every race you drive on is at least close to next race. Then Italy, Italy, Monaco, then you, for some reason, Canada, then we're back to Spain. Like, why not Italy, Monaco, Spain, Austria? Why is Canada here? What do we have more? I think that it should be someone more. Nope, probably only that one. At least what I see now. Go back.
This would be overtly road relevant if it was pulled off, and therefore something that car manufacturers may want to champion. Focusing on sustainable fuels and ditching the electrical elements and returning solely to combustion power in V6 or V8 form, sorry V10 and V12 fans, but that doesn't seem likely at all, would then come with a host of benefits. Simpler, lighter engines with better noise, and therefore much lighter cars that can be raced a lot easier. It's therefore possible to dream that the 2026 rules might just be an interim move on our way back to properly smaller and lighter non-hybrid cars. But that would require manufacturer buy-in, which, as the FIA and F1 are celebrating as part of this reveal, has only just been achieved with the new hybrids.
Okay, let's see. Didn't mention anything. Yeah, the rest stuff. Yeah, the Russia mode. The future, yeah, the hybrid future. Less drag, maybe it would be good. I mean, the biggest thing, the car is smaller. Oh shit. But this today, in how many hours was it now? Nope, wrong place. Yeah, we have 15 hours until the first practice. Or 16 hours, we can actually say. Until first practice. So let's listen to the Canadian race. What is our prediction for the 2024 Canadian Grand Prix? Let's see what else to say.
Our predictions for the 2024 Canadian Grand Prix. Yes, it's Canada. It's championship back on week. It's all kinds of good vibes. And we are here, Thomas Bellingham, to give some measured, well thought out, non-delusional predictions this week, maybe.
Absolutely. Well, you say that. You've just told me that it might rain all weekend, so delusion will be strong.
Okay, let's get into biggest good surprise then and start with me.
Oh, the biggest surprise. What can that be? Biggest surprise. Canada. We say Norris.
What have I cooked up this week for biggest good surprise? Charles Leclerc.
Wow, okay.
Charles Leclerc.
It's going to do even better than Monaco.
Norris.
No,
I know it doesn't work like that. I'm just bantering.
This is not how it works, Tommy. I've slammed my fist onto my chair arm. No, but it is Charles Leclerc. I'm ready. I actually, again, genuinely believe in my heart of hearts the Ferrari are going to be very good around Canada. We've seen murmurs. We've heard little rumours that Red Bull maybe aren't going to be that good around Canada. There are curbs. Kirby Canada is what it's not called, but we've now kind of titled it that, or at least I have. So I believe I'm championship back on week. That's what I told you.
You better not cash in a load more points. You didn't actually mention at the start of the show that it's now 25-21 thanks to your Charles Leclerc
I better not
masterclass.
cash in more points. You mean I better not no wheel?
Yeah, exactly. My biggest good surprise, and I can hear everyone now going, Tommy,
Norris.
do you want to catch up in these prediction standings? Because I've gone for Lance Stroll. Why not?
You're not getting
I was thinking actually Lance Stroll, just as joke, but why?
3 times points if this comes in. By the way, there's not like a 3 times Lance Stroll multiplier
Really?
on this.
Oh,
No.
okay. That's a
Yeah,
shame.
get in the middle.
I
You
don't
should
think
be.
I've ever predicted Lance Stroll to be biggest good surprise. Maybe I don't think anyone ever has.
And
But
biggest surprise is just him getting points.
Aston Martin have had a bit of a stinker, but Lance has outqualified Fernando recently, and then he's kind of messed up in the races and not really delivered it. So maybe that's the time to change. And then also, when you said it was raining, I was like,
Oh, my one
Lance
fish
Stroll
for the
might
prediction.
channel his once every
I
7
was
wet
going to
races where
say, when-
he's actually this myth that he's really good in the wet, but sometimes is.
Yeah, he's had like a few back in sort of 2018. And
Yeah.
we've had many rainy races
In a racing point, right?
since then, and he's not
There's
turned
been
up
nowhere,
hardly at
yeah.
all. But I like it. Okay, wow. Let's go to biggest flop. You're gonna like hearing this.
Oh, biggest flop. Who could that be? Kevin Magnusson. Yeah, he will be so big flop that he will actually get the race ban.
One, Tommy. Now, of course, the streak has been broken, but I'm not counting it because it's Oscar Piastri Leclerc that finished second place. We all know that. So the streak is still alive. Oscar Piastri did not take part in the Monaco Grand Prix. My biggest flop is Yuki Tsunoda.
No.
Get in the bin.
I've got some a little bit of a,
Okay.
you know. So, Sergio Perez has been announced at Red Bull for the next 2 years. Yuki Tsunoda is going to drive like a man possessed, but in a bad way this weekend. I feel like it's going to be a case of I should have had that seat. I'm going to win the Canadian Grand
Overdrive,
Prix.
yeah.
Overdrives. I don't actually think that, but it's just like a silly thought that I've had that maybe that's why Yuki won't do well. But hey, it's all based on vibes, and apologies in advance to Yuki Tsunoda.
Okay, biggest flop I've gone for Sergio Perez.
No, Kevin
I feel
Magnusson.
like it's going to go
Oh,
one
no.
of 2 ways. I don't think he's going to have a
Look like
normal
100%
weekend.
pink
He's either going
and
to
the
be
purple.
good and it would be like, yeah, he's justified his seat, or he has an absolute nightmare and there'll be so much pressure because the announcement has, I think, unsurprisingly been maybe unfairly criticised, but like it's been. I think it's a surprise for a lot of people because it's not like he's on a good run of form, is it?
Sorry, just to interject, I think we'll do a little 5-minute chat on P1 Extra about this, so you better go subscribe to that YouTube channel
No,
just so we can just
don't.
discuss. We're gonna, 'cause it's not like
The latest video was so fucking lame. They did like no.
a full
Nothing.
20-minute juicy P1 thing, but go and subscribe to P1 Extra.
No,
We'll chuck a
I
little
don't think
why
so.
Sergio Perez
You
been signed
see,
for 2 years.
disgusting
Yeah,
was
how
it?
about
Okay.
that plug?
It's going to go one of 2 ways, and my initial thought, especially backed it up even more when I heard that it was raining, was I can see Sergio having an absolute nightmare.
Pole position.
I would say yeah, problem when it's half wet. If it's rainy, he will probably be good. But when it's wet but not enough wet, it's just cold,
Charles Leclerc.
then it will be bad.
Of course.
No.
Charles Leclerc's getting pole position, but I do think it's going to be, especially if it's rainy, obviously, it's going to be all over the place. Max Verstappen, even if Red Bull are behind, not particularly quick over one lap, Max Verstappen will thrust that car right to the front. I also feel as though a Lando Norris shout is absolutely well and truly on, and I think I think you're going to say that, if I'm being completely honest with you. I feel like I'm predicting your predictions right now. But yeah, maybe Charles will get the better of it this time, but it promises to be an absolute banger if it is a lovely changeable condition qualifying session. God, we are teasing ourselves. Championship
You
back
are.
on, changeable weather conditions. Who said Formula One's finished? I am rejuvenated.
pole position, Max Verstappen. He is going to derail that Ferrari hype train.
You didn't even pause. There was no there was no dramatic.
No, he's basically, it's going to rain, and he'll just go, "No, I'm Max Verstappen," and he'll be on pole by half a second.
You are 5 points behind. No, 4 points behind right now. If you get the exact time difference, I'll give you 5 points. Just say exactly how much he'll be on pole by. Go.
He's going to be on pole by 4.5 tenths.
There you go. There you go. You literally just did.
Okay.
Anyway.
4.5
All right,
tenths.
perfect. Look, we're just throwing little spicy curveballs in. I love it. Let's go to our top
Oh,
three.
yeah, pole position for me, Max Verstappen.
Then, in third position, I am locking in Oscar Piastri.
See what I will pick. Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Norris.
I think McLaren, I do genuinely think it'll be a very close fight. I'm not in a...
But the biggest surprise in Norris. So we say Max Verstappen and Norris, Charles Leclerc.
complete Monaco delusion that whoever's on pole is going to win the race. It's not going to be like that. Canada, from at least my recent memory, deserves a banger, but we haven't. I can't remember the last banger we've had at Canada, even though I love the track.
Oh, it's been ages, and I was literally thinking this the other day because F1 shared a clip from I think 2008 and 2007, and I was just looking at it going, my God, that was the era where Canada was absolutely amazing every year, and it was like the race you always looked forward to because you're like, this is going to be really, really good, and it always was.
It's almost like the cars have got bigger.
Yeah, exactly. It is another sad circuit, obviously not as extreme as Monaco, but another circuit that they've sort of outgrown a little bit, and straights aren't long enough, not really overtaking spots anymore and things like that. So
Nice.
hopefully, bit of rain, maybe. Come on, rain. P3, I've gone for Charles Leclerc.
True.
What a change of like optimism that now P3 you're like, oh God, you're a Charles hater for picking him third. He's going to win by 40 minutes. Yeah, P3 Charles Leclerc. I do think he's going to continue that run. Obviously not been outside the top 4 all year, and I think he'll continue that.
A few podcasts ago where you were like, Charles going to break his streak. Now you're on the hype train, huh? Okay.
So yeah, gone for Charles.
All right, in second place, I am locking in Lando Norris.
Oh,
I believe it will be
McLaren
a charge, an almighty charge from McLaren this week, and Lando will finish P2. He's very good in the rain, and we've got rain.
One more fish for the collection.
No, gone for Lando Norris P2 as well.
Ooh, exciting.
When you said rain, I do think if it does rain, I could see Lando definitely challenging for pole position, another win. He is extremely good in the rain. We saw it in China and just generally throughout his whole career. Even when the McLaren was like a midfield car, he'd always be up there, wouldn't he, in the rain. He is very good there. So, yeah, P2 Lando.
And in first position, this might come as a surprise.
Max
I am wearing their team merch. It's Nico. No, it's not. P1.
Oh shit, Nico can maybe win or get podiums when he's in the Audi then.
Charles Leclerc.
2026.
Can we just talk about how imagine though, you're now on this like Charles Leclerc's the GOAT, he's going to win. Imagine
Sorry, was I not?
No, I know, but like imagine the 1 year that you don't like just blindly back him to win the World Championship at the start of the year. He actually goes and does it.
That would be so funny.
Can you imagine?
No, I mean, look, I will take it.
Oh, you would
I
take
will
it,
happily be like, oh no, I was wrong in my predictions. But yes, I have put Max Verstappen out of my top 3.
Another disaster class.
Oh,
maybe fourth.
New fish for the
Maybe
collection.
in fourth. Charles Leclerc gets to within 18 points. I then completely become insufferable, and P1 with Matt and Charles.
I've gone for P1, Max Verstappen, in the rain, if it does rain. If not,
oh my God,
I still think he'll win in the dry. I think he'll return. And hey, look, I've missed this kind of Charles versus Max vibe. It feels like it's been too long since we've seen it, and
yes,
I'm
I
here
want to be
for
the other way around. None of this Charles on pole and every week getting overtaken by Max in the race.
This season has been pleasantly surprising. I know Monaco's absolute snooze fest, but Yeah, it has brought some optimism into the season, but I just feel like Max will.
He will still win. Bad. That's stupid.
Return with a vengeance here.
Oh yeah, 97% of my brain says exactly the same thing, but 3% is what's actually making me talk right now. And look, I will happily let the Charles Leclerc pole position go. Starts P2, Lando's on pole, Charles then wins the race. Then my crazy prediction for the whole year is on for Charles Leclerc getting more wins than pole positions. So that, there's a lot of things going on here, a lot of strategy going on. But yes, it's going to be fascinating. I'm so ready for it. One crazy prediction.
Crazy prediction. What can be crazy? Williams, Alex Albon getting more points.
I'm going for a red flag at some point during the weekend.
The weekend?
Yeah, Saturday or Sunday, not Friday.
I was going to say, you can't have a Friday
Yeah,
red
yeah.
flag. They
But
do
a
that if,
Saturday
like
or
someone drops a penny on the floor.
Oh yeah, I know. I was hoping you weren't going to jump on that, and I was just going to just very subtly just slide through with that prediction. I should have said red flag at some point during the weekend,
And then
maybe
you'll be like, I saw someone at turn 3 waving a Ferrari flag. That's a point. My one crazy prediction is points for Haas, which I now regret because you're wearing the top and it always jinxes them.
wearing their
Yeah, whether or not that is
No
Kevin
points for them.
Magnussen straight lining turn 1 and wiping out half the field so Hulk gets points, I can neither confirm nor deny. But however they do it, I'm going for Haas points.
Okay, let's go to our 3 crazy predictions from you wonderful lot. First and foremost, C-Flash Racing. Hamilton wins.
Nope.
Okay.
He's very good in Canada.
I mean,
He's very good in the rain.
But not
But
that
the
good.
car's a dustbin. And
Yeah.
if you've actually seen, he was slandering that Mercedes in the
On
Hot Ones
yeah.
episode.
He was.
You know, when have you? Well, the question was, when have you ever felt at most sort of like fighting and whatever it was, wrestling the car? And he's like, now, right now. Yeah. So
doesn't care
didn't
anymore,
even
does he?
hesitate. He's like slander.
You see that
but
video as
hey,
well of him signing the Ferrari caps as Toto was walking
just
by. And
flied.
stuff.
Oh, he was on a scooter, wasn't he? Or something?
Yeah.
James Reese 83 says Verstappen in the Wall of Champions.
Nope.
There's
Somebody doesn't
bold.
like that one.
I saw F1 post like an Instagram post about the Wall of Champions, and it does seem like, and watch me jinx this now and clip this, because no one
It
ever
doesn't
goes in there
happen.
anymore. No,
Yeah.
it is such a rare. The only person that's crashed in like the last 10 years, I think they showed, was K-Mag.
That should have been your one crazy prediction. Nobody goes in the Wall of Champions.
I know, but could
It's not really that
it was
crazy,
going to
is
be,
it?
and then I was like, I can't even flag that one because it's such a like.
Because of that stat, yeah.
Yeah, it almost feels like, oh yeah, Canada, there'll be someone in the Wall of Champions, and it just
Nope.
there hasn't
Nobody
been for
will be
years
there.
and years and years.
It's definitely happening this weekend now after Tommy's saying that. So I
Wow.
look forward to seeing who that is.
Who will it be?
Lance Stroll will probably be that.
Probably, because I'm predicting biggest good surprise.
But it does mean he'll be world champion one day, so that's a W for him. And finally,
He will never be a world champion.
5 different teams in the top 5 on Sunday.
Take that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, wow. Don't see that happening, but I'm ready for it.
Top.
It means it will.
So 5 different teams. Wait. 5 different teams in the top 5 on Sunday. So McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull. They we have already 3. That could be really hard for it to happen. Mercedes or Aston Martin need to make a really good car for this to happen.
Sunday.
Take that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, wow. Don't see that happening, but I'm ready for it. It means it will be a juicy little rainstorm if that is the case. Okay, cool, brilliant. Well, our predictions are locked in. Very delusional, but very fun. And hey, everyone was, oh, Matt going for Charlotte Monaco. Can't wait to see this one get clipped up. And how did
True.
it work out? Huh? How did it work out? And
Really
we
good.
will see you live on Twitch on Saturday and Sunday, as always. Of course, we'll have our Friday rundown podcast and everything else you're used to seeing from the P1 Famalam. Goodbye. You've got double jointed thumbs. That's what you're about to show.
18,
Oh no,
20, 22,
I was like, that's
24.
crazy. Don't do that, bro. No, God, why would you do that? Stop. God, it's going to be demonetized.
True. Fucking go away. Oh shit, and then we have the last video for the Canadian Grand Prix, but before that we will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh wait, 26. No, 18, 20, 22, 24, 30, 36, 39. So 39. 39. Uh, 39 plus 80, 90. Oh shit, and then we... And let's see, Formula World.
Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the preview for the 2024 Canadian Grand Prix, one of my favourite races of the year. It's a fun, challenging track and has thrown up some absolute classics over the years, so I am very much looking forward to this one. Maybe not a huge shock given I've been banging on for nearly 7 years about how much I love this race, but it's always nice to remind you all. But anyway, shall we get on with the preview? I think that's a good idea. So last time out, F1 was in Monaco, where Charles Leclerc took his first victory on home soil, an emotional afternoon to say the least. But now it is on to Montreal for the 9th race of the 2024 season. A lap of the wonderful circuit Gilles Villeneuve is 4.361 kilometres long. That's just over 2.7 miles if you prefer, and is made up of 14 corners with 70 laps scheduled for Sunday's race. And Valtteri Bottas is the race lap record holder, by the way, the Finn posting a 1:13.078 back in 2019. Now, unlike Monaco, there is the possibility of some overtaking this weekend, or at least easier overtaking, and there are some good spots for drivers to try and get some moves done during the race, with Turn 1 a very popular place. Turn 6 offers up another opportunity, but it's not the easiest spot, and it's likely we'll see some moves at the hairpin too. But to help drivers in their quest to move up the order, no idea why I worded it like that, but sure, there will be 3 DRS zones in use, with the first between turn 7 and 8, and that has its own detection point, whereas the second zone down the long back straight and the final zone down the start-finish straight both share the same detection point, which is just after turn 9 on the run to the hairpin. And last year, guess who? Yes, Max Verstappen took the win in Montreal, finishing ahead of Fernando Alonso in P2 and Lewis Hamilton in P3. Nico Hülkenberg, if you remember, actually qualifying on the front row before being slapped with a 3-place grid penalty. And one final stat for you. If Max Verstappen takes the win on Sunday at Montreal, he will become driver number 3 alongside Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton to have won 3 times in a row at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Hang on a second. Driver number 3 to win 3 races in a row at the circuit? I mean, they say 3 is a magic number, but do you know what else it is? It's the number of dry tyre compounds available across a race weekend. That can only mean one thing. Oh yes, it is tyre talk time once again.
Maxa deal hela sommaren.
No!
Compounds available for this one then are once again the softest in the Pirelli range, so they are the hard C3, the medium C4 and the soft C5. Now, since F1's last visit to the circuit, the entire track has been resurfaced, which adds a layer of intrigue to the weekend, as does the fact all the curbs have been replaced. But Pirelli says that in theory at least, the track's existing characteristics of low abrasiveness and reduced grip should remain the same, but they won't know for sure until they've taken their measurements on Wednesday ahead of the event. Track evolution is something to keep an eye on this weekend. It is always fairly high at Canada, but it isn't particularly abrasive on the tyres, although graining could be an issue, especially on the softer compounds and earlier in the weekend. Last year's winning strategy was a two-stopper with Max Verstappen starting on the mediums, which he changed for the hards on lap 12, before pitting again on lap 42 for some more mediums, which he ran to the end of the race. Although, there were a really good mix of one- and two-stop strategies last year. Alex Albon in particular doing some great work managing his tyres as he ditched the mediums on lap 12 and ran the hards all the way to the end of the race. The final few things on strategy for today. The total pit lane lost time in 2023 was largely between 23 and 25 seconds. When it comes to safety cars, there is a good chance we'll see one given the close proximity of the walls, although maybe not as many as we saw back in 2011, that race featuring 6 of them. By the way, each of the last 2 races at the circuit have featured a full safety car period, so maybe we'll see one on Sunday. And of course, the weather can be very changeable at the circuit too, which could have a huge impact on strategy on Sunday, so keep an eye on the forecast as the weekend goes on. A sprinkling of rain or two, especially on a new surface, could really spice things up a bit. And your schedule for this one is an evening one here in the UK and Europe, and I'm sure elsewhere in the world too. So as ever, FP1 gets the weekend started on Friday at 6:30 PM BST, and the second practice session starts later that night at 10 PM. Saturday's F1 action starts with FP3, and that is at 5:30 PM with qualifying underway at 9 PM. And it is lights out for the race on Sunday at 7 PM, and once again, that is in UK time. Now, before I get on to my predictions, which hopefully will go a little bit better than it did last time, let's have a run through a few of the news stories and talking points ahead of the weekend in Canada. So first up, there have been 2 big bits of silly season news this week. On Monday...
Yeah, Ocon leaving Alpine.
It was confirmed that Alpine and Esteban Ocone have agreed to go their separate ways when the Frenchman's contract expires at the end of the season. The press release was full of talk of all his achievements with the team, as you'd expect, and didn't contain any information on why he will move on again, perhaps as you'd expect. It has since been reported, though, that this has been coming for a while and is not a direct result of the incident with his teammates at Monaco last time out, although I'm fairly sure that didn't help matters at all. Alpine has said they will announce their 2025 driver lineup in due course, and Ocon stated he will announce his own plans very soon. It is also worth a mention that Jack Doohan will be on track for Alpine on Friday as he takes Ocon's place for FP1, although that is not said to be linked to the incident in Monaco either and was already planned. And on Tuesday, Red Bull, unsurprisingly given recent rumours, confirmed that Sergio Perez will stay with the team beyond the end of this season after he signed a 2-year extension to his current contract. That's right, 2 years. In the official press release, Christian Horner explained that now is an important time to confirm their lineup and that both Checo and Max Verstappen are a successful and robust partnership. He added that Perez has had a strong start to the season but acknowledged that his last few races have been tough. However, the team is confident in Checo and look forward to his return to proven form and performance. Last time out in Monaco, Mercedes introduced a new performance upgrade, and one part of that was a new front wing which George Russell ran across the weekend. Ahead of this weekend's Canadian Grand Prix, the Silver Arrows have said that these signs from 2 weeks ago were encouraging and offer room for optimism as F1 heads to tracks with a more traditional layout in the coming weeks. That was echoed by Toto Wolff, who said the new wing offered a small lap time gain in Monaco and, as already mentioned, should benefit the team further in the upcoming races. He also confirmed that Mercedes will be running some more new developments in Montreal this weekend, and both drivers will be running the new front wing as well. And one final story, which isn't really related to this weekend and was reported towards the end of last week, but seems to have flown a little bit under the radar, but I think it's well worth a mention. So Pirelli says they are looking at introducing a new softer compound of slick tyre in 2025 due to the growing number of street tracks now on the calendar. Mario Isola told Racer that following testing at Paul Ricard last week, they have collected a lot of good information as they finalised more or less the construction of the 2025 slick tyres. He added that they also have very promising compounds to reduce overheating for 2025 and went on to say that the idea is to also introduce a new C6 compound which will become the softest in the range next season. Isola went on to explain that this was not at the request of the teams, and it was actually Pirelli's proposal, which they hope will open up some different strategy options. That Racer article, by the way, if you are interested in giving it a read, is linked in the description down below. Right then, let's make some predictions, and as always, please do not take these...
Max Verstappen P1, Norris P2, Charles Leclerc P3.
Too seriously, just a little bit of fun, but if you do disagree with my picks, you can let me know yours in the comment section down below. And last time, well, quite frankly, I don't really want to talk about it. So let's just move on quickly. This time around, I'm actually going to listen to Max Verstappen. He wasn't overly optimistic ahead of Monaco, but I still thought, as we've seen many times in the past when drivers and teams play down their chances, that he would rock up to Monte Carlo, stick it on pole and go on to win the race. How wrong was I? Well, we've already established that. But the Dutchman has claimed that this weekend could prove tricky for Red Bull again, as the new surface could throw up some surprises, and despite the resurfacing work, the track will still be bumpy and riding the curves will be super important to unlocking the lap time, something the RB20 struggled with in Monaco. We've also seen a pretty big push forward in recent races from Ferrari and McLaren, and at some tracks, they are able to take the fight directly to Red Bull, and so if the world champions have issues again, they are well placed to capitalise on them. That said, and I've got to say, there is still that little part of my brain screaming, and not just in general, but screaming that Verstappen will take a comfortable win on Sunday. After all, he does have a tendency to bounce back immediately following a difficult weekend.
True.
So I am conflicted and pretty much prepared to see a comfortable Red Bull win on Sunday, but as I said a moment ago, I'm going to believe Verstappen this time around, if for no other reason than to make these predictions at least a little bit less, well, predictable. So I'm going with Charles Leclerc for pole and the win again this weekend. Come on, Ferrari, don't let me down. With Max Verstappen recovering to P2 after a slightly tricky qualifying session. And I'm going to make it 3 different teams on the podium as well, with a McLaren P3. And as I went for Oscar Piastri last time, I'll go with Lando Norris on this occasion. Insert usual line here about how it could be any one of the McLaren or Ferrari drivers or Sergio Perez up there. It's all just that close, and etc. and etc. I think it could be a lonely race for Mercedes though, unless Aston Martin can find some form. So I fully expect them to be best of the rest. So the 4th best finishing team come the checkered flag on Sunday. And when it comes to bolder predictions, I'm going to say that Yuki Tsunoda takes a 4th points finish in a row. Is that really bold anymore if he keeps finishing in the points? But, you know, we'll still do it. Why not? I'll go with Lance Stroll picking up a top 10 finish on Sunday despite being knocked out in qualifying on Saturday. And I'll even go as far as to say that this weekend, for the first time this season, Zhou Guanyu will outqualify Valtteri Bottas. That is it, though, for the Canadian Grand Prix preview, but you can let me know your thoughts and your predictions ahead of the weekend in the comment section down below. Now, I will be back on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. BST for the qualifying watch-along, and we will, of course, be live shortly after the action on Sunday for some race reaction. In the meantime, though, if you did enjoy this one, then please do leave a like, as it really does help the channel out, and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future videos or streams. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.
Let's see, what did he say? Charles Leclerc pole, Charles Leclerc win podium. Okay, he believes more in Charles Leclerc than what I do. Want to watch Stroll? Probably not. Yeah, go away. Light grey Magnanta. No flopper. No. We have flopper. We stashed before. Orange cyan. God damn it. Yellow. Oh, yellow, orange. Nice. My own Nanta purple. Was it light grey Magnanta? Nice. Oh, should oh shit. And replace this one up here. Yellow. And then we can place this one also. Black and green. Here we have green, green cyan. Nice. Black cyan. Oh. We need one more. And then we need signs. Carlos signs. This one. Black cyan. Nope. Not flopper. We need. Let's see. Yep, not black cyan. Yeah, we fixed the signs now. Batty light blue. Batty light blue. Yep, and then we're dasher black. Dasher black. Then it's time for flopper. The Lewis Hamilton fish. Oh, we have 1 month dasher. Flopper. Then we have Cobb. And then we move this one down so we can place this, the copied fishes near. Yellow, white. Yellow, white. Then we have snooper. Spotty, stripy. God damn it. Lime green. Oh fuck me. Can I order the... Oh shit. Okay, blue magenta. Okay, blue. Okay, we need to remove this one. pink lime. Pink lime. Then we have purple. No. Oh, fuck me, don't say. Oh, that was a flopper. No, it's cob. No glitter. Pink lime. Pink lime. Purple white. Fucking stealing cob. Purple. Purple. Oh, purple magenta. Oh, nice. Blue green. Do we have a blue green? Oh my gosh, so little copies. White green. Okay, nice. There we have black. Boring. Wanna see? Okay, this stuff is somewhat done. Then we need to start doing this side. Snooper. Brown. Black, pink. White, green. Blue, purple. Gray. No, this is gray, yellow. And then rest is sunstreak. Pink, red. What the fuck, pink? There we have pink. Nice. Red, yellow. Cyan light blue. grey, red. Yellow, purple, pink, magenta. Go white, pink, then yellow and grey. They were grey, red. No! Yellow, purple. Nice. Oh. Let's see, how many will it be? 6, 10, 11. Did I say 30? Almost 28. That's somewhat good. What we need to do? No. Take that. Then we just go through everything again to just make sure. Light blue, light gray, light blue, light. Wait, what? No, light gray. This is light blue. Fuck me. They were light gray, light blue. Then a blockfish, yellow, magenta. Red, green. Blockfish. Fuck me. Red, green. Come on. Make me see it. There was red, green. Light gray, magenta. Orange, cyan. Black, yellow. Black, pink. Gray, yellow. Red, yellow. Pink. No, Sunstreak. Pink Magenta. Then grey, red, the last fish to fuck me. Okay, now oh shit, we're done. How many was it now? Fucking 6, 9, 11. 1,300. 79. 11, 180, 10, 90. Minus 11. So we should have now 1,379 collected fishes here. The goal is 2,700, so we are getting there. Yeah, time to place down the fishes in the temporary aquarium for the tropical fishes. Or the copied, not needed tropical fishes. Let's see. Do we have any? So this is so ridiculous. Maybe one day Minecraft will make an ocean place where it will actually spawn like this. Rare biome where the tropical fish is really tropical. And let's place them here. Okay, our first one, Betty light grey blue. Blockfish yellow magenta. Blockfish red green. Clayfish light grey magenta. Dasher orange cyan. Cob black yellow. Snooper black pink. Stripey grey yellow. Stripey red yellow. The McDonald's fish. Sunstreak pink magenta. Sunstreak grey red. And then I really need to make sure something. Did I forget to count these 9 or not? Before we end this. And then we have... what do we have? We have 15 hours until practice 1 starts in Formula 1 in Canada. That would be fun. Where do I want to go? Yeah, we go here. We can maybe get one more tropical fish for the collection before we end it also. Do we have any more tropical fish that want to be placed in a bucket, then in a chest, to then be probably will be in future in a shulker box, done in a chest? Nope, doesn't look like we will get one free tropical fish before we end it. Oh, that's boring. Okay. Got him. No, it broke. Oh shit, we can go sleep. Okay. Okay, we stand here and then we pause and then we go see if we can find it. I wanna see. Come on. Give me the information. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, what the fuck? There's 9, 18, 20, 22, 24 plus 25. Okay, it's okay. Let me know. We can skip this. I just didn't place them down yesterday in the aquarium. So we are. Where should I place them? They're meowing so much. Maybe I should have them here. Or maybe that tower. But holy having them here is the worst place. At least if I want to like start and end the streams always there. Okay, we stand here for now. Okay, so we are up 1,379. Let's write that down. Come on. 1,379, was it that? 79? Yes, 79. So tomorrow we will probably get up to 1,400. And let's see, 3 days. You have 100 more. Then it's 1,500. So no, 3, 6, 9 days. 9 days more, we maybe have 1,700. And then it's just 1,000 left to get. Man, wouldn't that be fun stuff? Yeah, but let's see. The last thing I will say. Yeah, 15 hours more or less until practice 1 starts. Oh, that's something I can look up. When will IndyCar be? IndyCar IndyCar that will be later on the day. Race. Come on, let me. Yeah, Formula 1 will happen before and then IndyCar. Let's see. Yeah. But we will see if any more news will happen until then. But yeah, sometime after practice. We will be back with collecting fishes. And let's see, how many did I get? 39, 20, 28. So hopefully we get something similar. I mean, hopefully more will always be more fun, but yeah. Whatever we see that we see done, something done, I will say bye. Tretton.